The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's happening, Uncle Fam? We got some last minute news that crawled all right in, so I had to give it on out to y'all. At least 5 passengers on the first Caribbean cruise in months test positive for the cerveza. That sucks. I have a friend who was planning a cruise in December. I think it was through Norwegian, and they actually called him like 2 weeks ago and canceled on him. They're like, we're just not going to do it or something. So he actually had to postpone that cruise. But one actually was headed out there. I think it was a smaller firm though, but it was a yacht, and I don't think that's the ship. NBC earlier reported on Wednesday, passenger tested positive for the virus, citing a report from Gene Sloan, a reporter of the website Points Guy, who was on the ship. Sloan said the captain announced the passenger aboard the Sea Dream. Does anyone know? Is that Norwegian? Sea Dream or Carnival? Sea Dream 1 tested positive on a preliminary basis. NBC noted it was not clear what preliminary basis means. That's good. I was confused too. Sloan said that all passengers were asked to return to their cabins to isolate, that the ship's crew was also isolating. Can you imagine being out in the middle of the sea and then something like that happens on there? Just crazy. The Hill has reached out to Sea Dream Yacht Club, which owns the ship, for comment. Sea Dream 1 is the first cruise vessel to begin sailing in the Caribbean since March. The virus was declared a pandemic. It's not good. Cases are now skyrocketing in the United States, raising alarms. Yep. There were 53 passengers and 66 crew members on board. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely not the ship. Well, it could be the ship up there. There just weren't a lot of people on it, right? Only 53 at the time, and the announcement was made according to Sloan. Every passenger on board had to test negative for several days prior to boarding, and again on the day of boarding. Another round of testing was conducted Wednesday when the passengers tested positive, so that's crazy, man. The ship left Barbados on Saturday and had traveled to St. Vincent and Tobago Cays, according to the Sloan. Passengers had not become into contact with the island locals, he wrote too. So I guess they didn't even hang out with locals. So, that's the thing. That's the problem with this thing is, if you can get it, you can just get it walking in somewhere. So it just is what it is. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, though. Do the people end up totally fine? Does the ship say forget it and they just have a big buffet and a big dance party and everything's cool? Or like half the people die or something? I hope they don't die, but man, this will be interesting to see how this plays out. We'll definitely follow up with this tomorrow or the next day. The Center for Disease Control Prevention first barred cruising in mid-March and renewed the order in April and July. It later filed the order to allow simulation cruises to sail in the U.S. I wonder if they pay people to do that. Maybe I can just go sail with me and a couple friends. What do you think? Cruise ships proved to be dangerous for the spread of that. Yep. So why are we talking about this here on this channel? Because we need to watch the cruise ship stocks. Are any of you in cruise ship stocks? We won't make fun of you too bad. Just put it down in the comments. Regardless, watch, like Norwegian Carnival ship. I think it's an ETF. I think it's the name of it. Or they might dump, and so you might be able to short them. I don't know. I don't know this sector other than the fact that I've always wanted to stay away. So, anyone let me know, do they think it's worth it? Do they think it will even be affected by that? Or is it already priced in? I feel like they should probably go down a little bit because of it, but at least we all know. So did Trump do another pump, or is this a dump? I think it'd be both. Trump bars Americans from investing in first firms that help China's military. Ban applies to 31 companies, including state-run aerospace, shipbuilding, and construction enterprises. It's very, very, very interesting because, shipbuilding, that can go all the way down to metal. And then that means that can go down to coal. Because to bend and shape metals, you need 2 different types of coals, right? Crazy. So Trump signed an executive order prohibiting Americans from investing in a group of Chinese companies. U.S. says supply otherwise support China's military, intelligence, security services. The order blocks American companies and individuals from owning shares directly or through funds. So no ETFs that have it either. that include any of the 31 companies identified by the U.S. as aiding in modernization of the People's Liberation Army and PLA. I found some. All right, I doubt any of y'all are in any of these, but let me know if you are. But I have them all here. China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation, Aviation Industry Corporation of China. I haven't heard of any of these, except for this big one right here. Huawei. We've been talking about that the other day, that big, huge electronic company. Is anyone in them? Or I think there's ETFs, right, that we've talked about that's in there. Isn't a big one like, dude, is one of the Kathy Woods ones in there? I hope not. Wouldn't that be a trip? Also, those get shut down because of that ticker in there. Aero Engine of China, Panda Electronics, China Mobile Gaming Corporations. Here's some more listed. Look it up though. I mean, this is a list that can and will get updated, I'm sure. And that's what kind of scares me about it, because I would also wait to invest in any China stocks right now. It's just not worth it for stuff just like this. Because again, what if you're an ETF that's in like this one? Highway, how do you say this? Huey? That's one of the biggest electronic companies in the world. I think it might be the biggest in the world. I could really mess some stocks up. So just be careful. Check your stocks. Make sure you're out of those for now. Chicago advises people to cancel Thanksgiving plans. Issued 30-day stay-at-home order. This is huge. So this is a straight-up stay-at-home order. They even were saying stuff like, for 30 days, you are encouraged residents to cancel Thanksgiving plans due to this. According to NBC, made an announcement on Thursday, the advisory calls all the Chicagoans to follow clear measures to protect their community and help flatten the curve. This order will go into effect Monday. Chicago has reached a critical point, demanding that we undertake these multifaceted and comprehensive effect to stop it in its tracks, Lightfoot said in a statement. The gains we have made this past year have been the result of our willingness to work together, even in a difficult moment. We continue to unite and always have the order of the city willing. They were even saying, like, limit people in your house to, I don't even remember, it was something like 4 or something low. I don't know, but read about that. Check your city though too. Check your city and state. Check your plans. This is going to affect stuff. This is just, if Chicago's doing it, watch. It'll spread. Next will be Portland, San Francisco, LA. New York's going to follow California. So maybe some stay-at-home stocks we need to be paying attention to. Zoom was getting whooped, right? Zoom was finally going down. It's probably going back up now. Because the Vax news came out, Monday morning or something? I heard that Vax news is actually like super old. It's like 3 weeks old, but they were just pumping it. Regardless, it pumped the stock market, and now we've got stuff like this, and then all this stuff rising with the numbers. So it's just going to be like that, I think, for quite a while still. So just be prepared, or just pull out if you're not comfortable. Another one, at-home learning. I was kind of thinking, y'all want me to do a video on at-home learning stocks? Maybe that'd be a good one, with the kids, getting in and out of school and all that, and businesses, I guess. Netflix, how is Netflix ever going to be doing bad? Disney just posted great results today, actually. And a lot of that was because of Disney Plus, their competitor to Netflix, basically, streaming of Disney stuff. So they've been whooping on that. That's only going to keep growing. Alcohol? Think that's going to keep going up? Like a little bit. At-home learning, yeah. How about ARK? ARK added these stocks to 2 ETFs today, 2 portfolios. Castle Bro Sciences, y'all heard of that? Castle Bro Sciences, Repair Therapeutics. So this is the ARKG. It's like the medical-y one, and then the tech one added stuff like Nintendo. I thought that was interesting. I don't know why, but I guess because I'm not around it. But Nintendo's just something I personally don't think about investing. I don't think I've ever looked up Nintendo stock. Is anyone into Nintendo? Is it good to get into the gaming platform? I mean, like, I understand Microsoft and Sony, I guess, but pretty interesting. Anyways, we've got this list here. If you want to come take a look, you can definitely come do that. FST, fast food stock news. FST, I've talked about them quite a bit. This is a sweet SPAC I like. They're focusing on like fast food or modern fast food-ish, like the Qdobas of the world. Departure of directors or certain officers, election of directors, appointment of certain officers, compensatory arrangements certified. What do? They moved some management around. This is usually a positive, definitely a positive thing for SPACs. Usually I think it's because they talk to one of their buddies and he goes, yeah, I'll give you this guy's phone number, or I got connections with that certain business, but I want a piece of this stock. I want on the board. I want to put my name on this. Right? So sometimes I got to move stuff around. We've seen this a lot with SPACs. And this is kind of a weird one too, because the guy who they pulled out is a guy who works for And Pizza. Has anyone ever been there? It's literally called And Sign Pizza. It's not a very good name, but it works. I think it's going after the younger crowd for sure with that kind of name, And Pizza. Regardless, the guy who got pulled out got replaced with another guy from And Pizza. But you never know. Maybe that other guy's brother owns Ruby Tuesdays. Or used to, whatever. He's got connections to Ruby Tuesdays. There's already a Ruby Tuesday guy in here. Maybe it's Ruby Tuesdays. Are y'all excited for Ruby Tuesdays? Have you ever been to Ruby Tuesdays? I couldn't tell you what they sell there. How about y'all? You think that'd be a good one to go after? Regardless, I hope they go after like Blaze Pizza. Stuff like Pita Pit. Y'all ever been to Pita Pit? You know what that is? It's kind of new, Chipotle style, let's call them semi-fast-ish food, but actual real food companies. I'm a fan of those. Regardless, like this pizza company is, let's call it edgy. You can go to their website. You can come here and click on this picture. This is just the top of the picture that I'm going to show here. Dude, firefighter guy. Come check it out. But, it's saying, warning, extra hot. Okay. So they're kind of funny. I think it will meme very well. If we could even be And Pizza. We've seen that with LCA, right? Didn't LCA do that? Fertitta? I think so. PSTH, Mr. William Spackman. Got some more news on here. To keep it simple, same kind of thing. They moved someone out-ish and then brought another person in from somewhere internal. We could speculate all day long on that, but I always think it's a good deal because to me they're not going to bring in another guy randomly unless he's got ties they want, connections they want, or they just know they need them for a deal that's maybe on the table and they think he can maybe help out a little bit more than the last CFO in this case, financial advisor guy. They're talking about which I like how Bill's doing this. They talk about how they're not going to give him any money, which is cool. But then you can read down, and then with another SEC filing, you find out it's not on the first one. You find out today they're actually giving him 4,500 shares and 500 warrants. Can anyone calculate that real quick? It's about 100 grand. More than that, but let's just call it 100, 120. Maybe a month or two worth of work. I don't know. Regardless, just keep in mind, when people bring in on our boards and on this company and work for them, these usually aren't like full-time gigs they're doing, right? Like 2 or 3 are maybe out scouting, doing calls, and then the CFO is probably just on back end, or the deal's done and they're just hiring him to write script up something that could take him 5 days, right? It's like, dude, CFO, we need you to figure this out. This is confusing. Dude, we need you. He's like, yeah, give me 5,000 shares and the keys to your Ferrari. What do you think? Regardless, we got the links right here if you want to come take a look. Any other big news that y'all think I missed? For sure, let me know about it. I had to get these ones out. I think those are the most important ones to let you know for tomorrow tomorrow's possible swings, ins and outs. Y'all buying more PSTH or just getting out? If it's not stripe, are you going to pull out? That's what I want to know. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, dude, I don't see how he could really mess it up. It could still be Chuck E. Cheese, but then again, I don't think Chuck E. Cheese is in that price range. I don't think it's a $30 billion company. We'll have to find out. Did you know that we got a Patreon? It's something that definitely helps out the channel. If you wouldn't mind joining that, I'm actually sliding you guys information almost right when I get it if I think it's worth it. I'll slide you plays before I make these videos. It's definitely helping out the channel. If y'all like the video, please do it, and please subscribe. Take care. Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.